Senkai Senkai no Mi.
Hey guys, this is Jan Birkemeyer, aka Skip from Senkai Senkai no Mi, and today I want to talk to you about something very specific but also very special in regards to law. So over the past 3 weeks I played in 3 different online regionals. The organized play one, where I placed 5th, then the raid and trade, in that one I went 4-0, 5-1 and then 5-3 unfortunately. But in that very specific tournament I played a extremely close Zoro versus Law matchup against a very nice opponent from Belgium, and he inspired me to do this video. Because in that game I was able to demonstrate and execute a concept, sort of technique in Law that is extremely essential to... It's sort of high level, but at the same time it's super easy if you think about it on like a basic level. That may sound a bit confusing. What I'm talking about is tracking. So you find a card in a search package, but don't take it and then put it to the bottom of your deck. And in that game with Law, I was able to cycle through my entire deck, and I remembered what I put under my deck with my very first search and could apply that later in the game. So my Zoro opponent was extremely flabbergasted by this concept because I explained to him what I was doing, because I counted my cards, my grave and my cards in hand at some point, and he was just asking what I was doing and I explained it to him. So this obviously doesn't just apply to Law. For Zoro players I think it's very relevant as well. They run like 3 searches minimum, and I think it definitely can happen that Zoro cycles through their deck as well. So I prepared a little something that I just want to show you guys and go over with you. So let's jump straight to the practical example. This is the situation. Let's take the laser pointer here. This is my opponent playing Zoro. Turn 1, he played an Izo. He unfortunately whiffed, but that doesn't matter for what we're discussing right now. I open up, going second with a Dadan, and I find this chopper. So turn 1, Dadan. Let's just keep that in mind for now. But the very relevant thing is that this card to the very right that I'm going to place 4th from the bottom is Blocker Law, 5-cost Blocker Law. And yeah, that is the key card that we keep in mind. Of course, like if you find other key cards, for example like Rush Luffy's that you only play once or twice in your deck, those are really relevant and easy to remember as well. With the other cards that you play as a playset, it gets a lot more tricky to remember all of them, while also doing combat math, counting opponents' hand size, and yeah, there's a lot to calculate in one piece, but these key cards are really what isn't that hard to keep track of actually. So turn 2, he resolved some more searches, found an Izo with his Dadan. The Izo actually misses as well, but yeah, that happens sometimes. I have like an extremely good opener. I go Nami, find a Zoro. I go another Nami, find Sanji. And I go another Dadan, find Nami. So obviously extremely good opener from my end, but yeah, sometimes Law obviously goes insane like that, and you will see despite this opener the game gets really close. So let's just keep moving forward. There's nothing too much to discuss yet. He plays a Marco in his turn, swings face, and pops my Dadan. At the start of my turn 3, I'm at 6 Don. I resolve the Nami that I searched the turn earlier with Dadan and find a chopper. With my remaining 5 Don, I probably end up, like if I remember correctly, I swing 5 with leader, see him take it, I attach 2 to Dadan, swing for 5 again, and then I deploy chopper, activate leader ability, play Blocker Law, and play a Zoro. So yeah, that's probably the skip that we have here. Okay, I didn't end up playing a Zorro as we can see. No, I think I did, and he just killed it, and I let it die. So he made a couple of attacks in his turn, played another buggy, and we start our turn by swinging Namis into, it was an Izo and a Dadan, so we clear those, and then I resolve my, what is it? Searcher 1, Searcher 2, Searcher 3, Searcher 4, Searcher 5. So this bunny is my 6th Searcher of the game. And she has no target. So usually we return 4 cards to the bottom of our deck, but if we whiff, we return 5 cards to the bottom. So that's also very relevant to keep in mind. Okay, I still continue my turn. I think I end up shambling this bunny for a Zorro, because I don't have anything better, and swinging with this Law for 7 because I realized that I need to put on pressure, and that actually, the Law being rested, comes at the price of him being able to clear my entire board the next turn. So yeah, he played a Fire Fist, played an Otama, swung into all my stuff, and also had 4 Don left to develop a 4-cost Mako, and I start my turn with an entirely empty board. But I do have that Bonnie because I bounced the Zorro into the Bonnie. So I start with Bonnie and I find a badge. And now at this point I know this is my 7th Searcher. I still have 8 Don remaining. And here you can actually see me counting my trash. So I count my trash. Those are 11 cards. I count my hand. 6 cards. I count my board. 1 card. I count my life. 2 cards. That's a total of 20 cards, which means 50 minus 20 is 30. I have 30 cards left in this deck. Now, having resolved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Searchers, the first putting Law to the 4th position from the bottom, and then each consecutive Searcher puts him 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, because we whiffed on this, and another 4 further from the bottom. So, having 30 cards in deck, I know that Law is in position 29th from the bottom, so 2nd from the top. Ergo, I can play the other Bonnie that I have in hand and am guaranteed to find my Law. And as I was explaining this concept to my opponent, I draw the first card from Bonnie and reveal the second card instantly to show him that my math was actually correct. And yeah, I draw the other cards and play out the rest of my turn with my 6 Don, playing Badge, Chopper, and I think a Nami that whiffed because I wasn't able to remember that Nami would whiff. So yeah, we end up shambling into Zorro and taking some cards out of his hand. He's at 1. We have 3 blockers up, 2 life. So from having no board against his impressive board, we suddenly are in a very good spot again. And yeah, he continues doing his turn. And another very crucial information that we get from cycling through our entire deck is actually, I only saw 3 blocker laws at this point. So when he takes my first life, and that's not a blocker law, I actually know that this is also a blocker law. I end up taking this life as well, which I'm not too sure about if it's correct, but I was fairly certain that I would go for the kill this turn anyway, and this additional blocker law could help me replay a Rush Zorro that I had in hand. So yeah, that was my reason of thought there, and so I took this last life, which was indeed the last blocker law. And yeah, he has 1 card in hand, 1 blocker, 1 life. We have 2 attacks, potentially more attacks. I start with playing Nami, find a Jet Pistol, play the Jet Pistol to take KO the Marco, swing with 5 into his leader because he only has 1 card and 1 Don open, so if that's a Radical Beam, I really don't want to be swinging 7 or 8. So I swing 5 to actually make sure I either get that card or I get that life, and he ends up discarding Makino, and that just clears up my way for a 5k chopper swing. We obviously attach 1 Don to our blocker law before swinging at all to play around Jet Pistol trigger, and yeah, this chopper 5k gets his last life, and then Law swings for 7 to seal the game. Of course, we lose to Last Life being Guard Point or Radical Beam, but he also had like he discarded. No, there was some information about him likely not having those, and I had to go for it anyways because I died to any Diable Jambe, and yeah, I thought about this going for this commitment very hard. I could like let my blockers stick around, but I always died to Diable Jambe, so you could argue that taking the last turn was a mistake, but yeah, if I don't find the jet pistol, I think it's actually crucial to go into Zoro and then go into Blocker Law, Shamble, replay the Zoro. So yeah, that was the game, and I hope that was instructive for you guys. And yeah, see you next time. I'll think of some other cool video ideas, and yeah, Senkai Senkai no Mi.